What's up, y'all? It's Jimmy coming guys with another video. Before we get into the video, as always, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And when you guys say subscribe, please make sure to hit that notification button. To get right to the video, I feel like I've been talking about Virgil Nike a lot. I mean, Virgil has just been making a lot of moves, but recently, along with the 20 pack that Virgil announced earlier this year, I think it was around like March or something like that, Nike and Virgil have officially confirmed the 50 dunks that are coming out. I don't know exactly when, but I think they were dubbed like Dear Summer or something like that. And they actually are all on sneakers, which is where we're gonna check out the sneakers. So I do wanna talk about it a little bit before we go right into the sneakers. How I feel about Nike Virgil dropping 50 dunks. It's a little bit confusing to me why they would drop 50 of the same exact dunks, right? They're basically all the same minus a couple of different coloring details here and there. But you know, I'm not too sure why Nike and Virgil are dropping 50 dunks, just because I feel like 50 is a little bit excessive, but who knows, maybe they're just trying to make these shoes very available to the mass consumers. It doesn't seem like something Nike and Virgil would really do for this type of collection. I'm not saying that they're trying to hold off, but typically in the past, Off-White, anything Off-White really has been a little bit more limited. So it is surprising to see them drop so many of these shoes. I don't know if they're gonna do it all at once or periodically throughout the year. I mean, I'm guessing it would be all at once, just because if they were to do it like one pair for a week, they would be bringing this on until like next spring and summer, and I think that'd be a little bit too dragged out. And by then, who knows if dunks will still even be the craze. My prediction is that they probably still will be, but you know, they might die down a little, or the hype might die down a little at least. I think people will still be wearing them. I'm still gonna be wearing them, of course, but I think the hype for them won't be as high. So getting right into it, if you guys don't have the sneakers app already, then what are you doing? Because I'm pretty sure if you guys are watching this video, you guys are into sneakers, always trying to buy shoes, watching reviews, and that's where we're typically gonna try to buy all our rare hype sneakers that are coming out. But let me do a quick little screen grab. So like I said, this is all on the sneakers app. This was officially released by Nike and Virgil. So if you go down on your feed a little, you have this little page right here called Sneaker Special. So it's gonna go through like a story, but I'm gonna like just put my finger on it so I can pause it. So this is the general look of an Off-White Nike dunk. This isn't the first time Nike and Virgil have done a Nike dunk. I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they dropped 3 colorways, I wanna say. I think there was like the UNLV colorway, Michigan lows, and maybe like the Spartan green lows, if I'm not mistaken. I might be missing another one, or I might have included one that wasn't even actually colorway. But long story short, the point I'm trying to get at is they have done a Nike dunk before. But this right here on the very front page of the story looks kind of like just like a simple prototype of what they expected all these shoes to look at. This right here is just an aged midsole, white uppers, metallic silver swoosh, your basically like your rubber bands on the top. They're not rubber bands, but elastic bands that they have all over the shoe. It's just in white. You have your infamous deconstructed tongue, your orange tab that is on, I think, most of the Off-Whites, I believe, and then your Off-White tag. But this seems like the base model, base color, I don't know, that they use for all of the 50 colorways. And go on to your next story, you have the very start of the list. So yeah, the first of the 50 is that all white pair, and then going down, I mean, you guys can see, it looks like all of these, I think up until the 50th pair, which is like an all black pair, you know, it basically just goes through like a different color spectrum on this one specific pair right here. So just taking a closer look at this, right, it's essentially, I think they were called like the Photon Dunk, something like that, but it's like a neutral gray dunk low with a deconstructed off-white tongue. And then the only thing that really changes between pair number 2, the pair 49, is the rubber stamp on the side of the shoe, the elastic band that goes over the shoe, the color of the tongue, and then the color of the little plastic tab on the swoosh right there. So you guys can see, I mean, it looks like Nike is kind of giving us like a little breakdown on the colorways. So the second one has blue elastic bands, has yellow insoles. It's gonna come with a yellow off-white tag. What A and B stands for, I'm not too sure about that. C and D looks like the color of the plastic tab on the back, and then also the color of the plastic portion that's on the midsole. And I guess A would be the elastic band, and then B would be the color of the tongue. Okay, so I guess everything is color coordinated to just kind of show you exactly what's what, and I'm an absolute fool for not looking down below because there is a key. So at the very bottom, A is overlays color, so that's what it's called, that little overlays, what I was calling like an elastic band. B is tongue color, sock liner, and zip tie. C is the lot number, which is the little plastic portion that's on the midsole. And then D is the swoosh underlay, which isn't honestly even really an underlay. It's more like just really a plastic tab. When I think of an underlay, I think of like almost like a double swoosh. But I'll go through it lot by lot just because I mean there is just so many different shoes. Well, so many different shoes, but they're all basically the same. I'll rate from like lot 1 to lot 10, which one I think is the best, and I'll go up until 50. But just looking at this 1 through 50, I'll say my favorite in this collection, I mean, you're just picking what color combination you like the most. And I'll say because it is the only one that's different so far in this lot right here, I'll go with lot number 1. And the reason being is, I mean, I think that's the only all white pair in this lot or collection. So I'm gonna go with lot number 1 for 1 through 10. And then moving on to 11 to 20, I mean, you guys can see right here, it gives you kind of like a little GIF on all the different colors. I'll say, I mean, the shape of the shoe looks pretty cool. I think it'd be cool to own like 1 pair. I don't know if I try to go for 2 pairs, right? Just because, I mean, it's basically the same. So do you really need more than 1? But yeah, I think it would be cool to own 1 pair. I don't think it would hurt. It also looks like there's like a serial code. I don't know if that's like also in relation to the lot number, something like that, right on the side. If you guys look at the very bottom right there. And then here is the second lot, basically the same. That photon gray dunk as a base. And then from this one, just looking at the different color combos, I'll say my favorite one here is probably gonna have to be that first one, lot 11, or either lot 11 or lot 12. I like the color combinations on those. All the other ones look a little bit tacky in my opinion, like a little bit out of place, a little bit forced. Or I don't want to say forced, but they're just not my preference in those colors. You know, like maybe someone else might like those. Like number 15 looks like it'd be very reminiscent of like a Raptors colorway if you want to pair purple and I guess something like a red, pink, and call it a Raptor colorway. But you know, with these shoes, they're all very similar to say the least. But yeah, I'll say my favorite color, you know, I'll narrow it down to 1, is probably number 12. And you know, going back a bit, it looks like there's actually different materials to these shoes. So if you guys go back to this one, right, it says MM2 at the very top, leather / canvas mix. And the next one is hairy, suede, and leather. So maybe there's different materials that they're using on these shoes, so who knows? I guess we'll get a better feel once Nike release more in-depth pictures. And then this right here, I mean, you guys can see it's another GIF of all the different lot numbers that they give. And then number 3, we're back to that leather and canvas mix. That was really quick. This one, I'm gonna go ahead and go with, I'm feeling lot 29 on this one. I like the yellow that they use. It's basically like a bunch of different shades of yellow, and I think that pairs pretty well with that neutral, kind of like neutral gray. I don't know if it's actually is neutral gray, but I think lot 29 is the nicest one of the bunch. And then here's a little close-up of all the shoes that are coming out, basically all the same thing. And then moving on to the second to last lot, we're on 31 to 40. I'll say my favorite out of this one, maybe throw a little curveball out there. I like number 39, kind of for the same reason again. I think with these other colors, I don't know if I'm like the biggest fan of these very different colors on the gray. Like, I don't know if it's technically like a match made in heaven, to say the least, but to me, I really like the way the yellow looks on this gray. So I'm gonna go with lot 39 for this one. And then here's a little closer look at the shoes. So just to pause that real quick, I mean, like I said, the shoes themselves, you know, minus all of the off-white detailing, branding, they look like just normal gray Nike Dunks. So, I mean, if you guys want a little bit more hype to your Dunks, then I guess you guys can cop these, but they don't look bad at a first glance. And here is the last batch out of the mix, 41 to 50. I'll go ahead and say my favorite out of this one, kind of like the first page, is going to be number 50. The all black pair with hits of like purple, pink, that metallic swoosh. It actually looks pretty fire, and I think it's nice. I think it'd be cool to own like the first one, the 50th one, and maybe like one between like 2 to 49, just so you can kind of get like a little mix of all the Dunks that did come out in this collection. But going back to that previous page, there was actually a picture of the all black pair. So that right there, I mean, that is an all black Dunk. So it kind of has like that all black Air Force One energy. But these actually look pretty dope in my opinion. I would actually rock them. So I'll probably go with number 50. And yeah, going to this next page, you guys can see these have their own page for themselves. Really clean. I mean, you know, now that I look at it, that leather does look a little bit too shiny for my preference. And to wrap it all up, I think my favorite one out of the bunch, I'm gonna have to go with lot number 1, the all white pair. I do like the all black pair, but I think the all white pair is actually a little bit more practical, and you know, you can wear a little bit more for the summertime. So all-time favorite of the collection is going to be lot number 1. Nike actually hasn't even dropped any official release dates for those shoes or anything like that, so that's to be announced. I guess we'll know pretty soon, maybe within the next month or 2. But let me know down below in the comments which one is your favorite Nike Dunk from that collection. Would you guys cop any of them that are coming out? Do you guys think this is an absolutely ridiculous money grab by Nike, Virgil, just building off of that Nike Dunk hype? I myself, I want to say that probably has to do a little bit with it, right? Like, I don't think they'd be dropping 50 pairs of Nike Dunks if Nike Dunks weren't in right now. But nonetheless, they are in, and I do think a couple of those colorways aren't too bad. But that's gonna wrap up the discussion video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.